Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Greg Waugh, aka Gregory Henderson, coming live from the basement. This is my show called The Henderson Show. We'll be taping almost every night, commenting on basketball games. We'll also do football games weekly. I got me and my partner here, Big Panda. We're going to do a quick review on the Wizards. We have a 2-8 start this year, very disappointing on a lot of fronts, as this was considered to be a very promising year with a promising team. Ted Leonsis once commented before the season that this is the most depth we've ever had. We picked up Dwight Howard, Jeff Green, Austin Rivers on the offseason to kind of show up our starting unit and the bench, but things have not worked out as planned. So I want to do a quick consensus on that, see what you guys are feeling out there. But I don't know about y'all, but I'm pretty pissed off for a number of reasons. I've gotten to the point where I would tell anybody who listens, who's a Washingtonian, who follows the Wizards, who's a Wizards fan, to give it up. If you support this team, if you're going to games, if you're buying jerseys, if you're buying those terrible, overpriced concessions at the Capital One Arena, then you are a fool. I've been a fool for over 35 years, for as long as I've been following this team. But I've never played the fool like I'm playing it right now. They don't want to win. It's become painfully obvious to me that this organization is not interested in putting W's in the column. And you say, why? First and foremost, you have to start with Ernie Grunfeld. Ernie Grunfeld has now held the general manager position with the Washington Wizards for 15 years. 15 years. How many of you out here said you've held a position for 15 years? If you hold a position for 15 years, the expectation is that you've done a good job. Grunfeld's record is way below 500. In fact, he's lost over 150 games as a general manager, more than he's won. And you're talking almost 800 games over 15 years. How does he continue to keep his job? How does he continue to get extensions to his contract? Quietly, I might add. And he's not showing results. The team has never been out of the second round of the playoffs. And for many years, we didn't even make the playoffs. Our draft picks have been, to say the very least, to be the kindest, subpar. We've missed out on countless stars, like the big Greek Freak. Was the draft that we drafted Otto Porter. Otto Porter was a Georgetown player. I've watched him since he was a young cat. Was a fan of him at Georgetown. He's one of our best players. But when it came time for the draft, I knew that he was not a number 3 pick or credible to be kind of the third star alongside Wall and Beal. I knew it. You could see it at Georgetown. It was simple. I mean, it's just he didn't pass the eye test as being somebody who can create his own shot and could really be a difference maker for your team. He was described as a glue guy by NFL pundits, by analysts, by draft analysts. And that's just what he is, a decent rebounder, decent shooter, doesn't commit a whole lot of turnovers, but he's not a star that's going to take your team to the next level. So here we are paying this man a max salary. He's the first or second highest player on our team. In a lot of games, he doesn't even play the fourth quarter. And he's injury prone. So that's another story. But let's get back to Grunfeld. I mean, really, Ted Leonsis, does he have dirty pictures on you? Did he catch you in a compromising situation, whereas he's going to be our GM for life because if you fire him, he's going to expose you? Because that's what it looks like. It's a debauchery that this man has been in a position for 15 years. Other general managers that have had over 10 years of tenure all have won championships, multiple. What do we have to show for it? 0. And at this point, we have a team where they don't even want to play with each other. You put together a roster of miscreants that don't even enjoy being on the floor with each other. It comes out obvious in their play. They don't support each other. They don't back each other up on the court when they fall. They don't pick each other up. There's no team chemistry. After only a few games in the season, you hear rumblings from the locker room, disgruntled players. Grunfeld should have been fired a long time ago when he drafted Jan Vesely, number 6 in the draft. And you had Kawhi Leonard. When he drafted Otto Porter 3rd in the draft. And you had the Greek Freak. Now, we're not the only teams that missed out on him. But it just goes to show you the ineptitude of our GM and how he is so incompetent in the position and really doesn't care. The main reason why I say today that we are fools for being Wizards fans is because we have a general manager and an owner that don't care about winning. Now, it's obviously our owner doesn't care, doesn't feel the same way about his other teams. The Capitals, he invests a lot in the Capitals, and they're perennial winners. That's why they got a chip this year. Okay, his football team won the championship there. Didn't play too well in the regular season, but came together, and Nevada took home the crown in their first year. Mystics went to the finals this year without one of their best players, Emily Messerman. Okay, the Wizards don't know what's going on. Barry Trotz got fired. We've had multiple Wizards coaches. Mystics coaches, excuse me. Okay. In those areas, he seems like he doesn't tolerate mediocrity. But the Wizards have been marred in it for years. I hear John Wall say, our goal is to get to the conference finals. What kind of goal is that? What team shoots to lose at the end of the season? We have such a deficit approach. And you're asking people to pay $100 to sit in the 400 sections to watch this team of misfits. Shouldn't be called the Mystics. They should be called the Washington Misfits, because it's embarrassing. I went to the game and I had to leave at halftime because we were losing too bad. I tried to go out to watch the game at a pub and I had to leave at halftime because I would have drunk myself into oblivion trying to watch the rest of that game. Not even made it home. It's embarrassing. Let's talk about our players. Let's start with the head of the snake, John Wall. John Wall is now 28 years old, a couple years from that 30 threshold. It's gotten to the point where it looks like that boy's throwing up his hands, saying, I'm done. I've given my all to this team for almost 10 years. They haven't really put a team around me. I catch all of the flack on social media and sports blogs that it's my fault. I'm the problem, right? I got 6 or 7 Wall jerseys from high school to college to NBA. He's my favorite player on the team. And I got to honestly tell you this year that I'm ready for him to go. It's just become painfully obvious that he is not going to take this team to a championship. He is no longer our point guard of the future. He's been marred in this terrible culture for too long. Wall came in when our guy Gilbert brought the guns into the locker room and was literally writing his way out of DC. So he came into a dysfunctional organization. Number 1 pick in the draft. Trying to turn this thing around. Doing the Dougie. He needs to do that Dougie right up out of here and find him an organization that can treat him well and use his talents and maximize his talents for the remainder of his career. Bradley Beal, love him to death, but he's as clumsy as an ox. He's developed better ball handling, better playmaking skills, but he still turns the ball over at a very high clip when he tries to do things. Those two together are not a good mix. They're consistently inconsistent. Neither one of them shoot at a high clip, even though they want to. Neither one of them play defense at a high clip on a regular basis, even though they claim to. How many times have you heard those two say we're the best two guards in the East? Can we have the best record in the East before y'all start claiming what you are and what you're not? Can you let the W speak for yourself? We haven't won 50 games in my lifetime. So I say this to say, all of my Wizards fans out there, I know you're out there, and those of y'all who don't even like the Wizards name will still refer to them as Bullets. I'm with you. We're the only team in the league that changed its name. I repeat that. We're the only team in the whole NBA that have ever changed their name in the modern era. Teams change cities. Of course, when you change cities, sometimes you change names. New ownership, new building, new place. We're in the same place we've always been since our 1978 championship. Okay? What did that do to our alumni, our Bullets? Because if I didn't give my son a Bullets hat, he wouldn't even know what Bullets are. So when you got alumni walking around saying, yeah, I'm a championship team for the Washington Bullets. The Washington who? I don't even know who the Washington Bullets are. What was that team? How are you going to minimalize and ostracize a team that won a championship in your city? By changing the name to the Wizards because we were the murder capital. We had the most murders in a year span. As if that makes a damn difference. Thank you, Abe Poland. Thank you for leaving Wizards names with us. I appreciate that. Anyway, let's get to Otto Porter. $27 million a year. Now we can't even trade the man. Because nobody in their right mind would trade for a role player making $27 million a year. We have sabotaged our organization. For all intents and purposes, we are stuck. We are stuck because we have five players under contract that have us over the luxury tax. 5. There's 15 players slated to be on your roster. None of those 5 players are all NBA players. None of those 5 players are MVP candidates. None of those 5 players look to be making the all-star team right now as the team sits at 2-8, soon to be 2-9 when they finish off this loss to the Orlando Magic tonight. I want to hear from you guys because this is our city, this is our team, and they don't have a team without us fans. And are we going to continue to support this product, this despicable product, when it's obviously that the leadership does not want to win? They are very comfortable with being mediocre, filling the stands with a few patrons, not selling out, of course, but a few patrons, just enough to make some money. And then concentrate on the Mystics and the Capitals and the Valor. We're the first team. We're the originals. This is where the focus should be. This is a basketball town. And the fact that we stink blows the hell out of me. I want to hear from y'all. Tune in. Tomorrow we're going to be discussing the NFL lineup. We'll make our picks for the week. We luckily came out on top on that Carolina and Pittsburgh game. I got to credit my dad, Chester Henderson, and my son, the fresh king of DC, Malik, for telling me about a couple minutes before the game, you better switch that to Pittsburgh. So I thank them because they saved my week. But tune in tomorrow. We'll go over all the games on the slate and make our picks and see what happens. All right. Come back to the Henderson Show, live from the basement. See you guys tomorrow. Peace.